edition of TSR NFL Sunday Rundown. I am joined by quite a few guys today. I've got Jonathan, of course, of Modern Life Dating, who just dropped his, quarter 3 of Body Language Mastery. We have Cultivate Crypto. Then we have Xanatos Clutch, as well as Miami J. Yes. All right. Excellent. I can see that we're definitely on now. So thanks to the 5 people who are watching us. Shamari Henry in the house. I haven't seen you in here in a while. All right, guys. So we have a number of compelling topics. We're going to talk about last week's storylines. We're going to talk about this week's storylines. Then we'll make our picks. Pardon me. We'll make our picks straight up, and then we will make our picks against the spread. Now, what I like to do is I'd actually like to keep track of our records against the spread. I think that's something fun for us to do here. So, a good week in football last week. Of course, we're going to talk about. We're certainly going to talk about my Eagles here coming up. But the first thing that I would like to talk about are the Washington Redskins. The Redskins took another L. I don't even remember who the Redskins played. Does anybody remember who they played?
Bears.
Okay, so they played.
Yep.
Okay.
It was on Monday Night Football, right?
Football.
Yeah.
Chicago.
They got crushed.
Dude,
Oh, yeah. That Bears defense.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack, that Bears defense. Dude, Khalil Mack. Holy smokes, I'm drawing a blank. The kid from Virginia Tech. Then, of course, they have Hakeem Nicks. Not Hakeem Nicks. Whatever the case may be, I'm drawing a blank today. They got absolutely dump trucked by the Bears and that crazy, crazy defense. This is Jay Gruden's. I think it's like his sixth or seventh year in Washington. So I'm going to put this question to the panel: will Jay Gruden last the season? Let me start with you, MLD. Is Jay Gruden going to last the season? Or are they going to let him finish the season? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, because the Redskins always suck. So it's like there's something, I don't know. It's one thing if you just suck big time, but when you drop the lead, that's when the coaching staff really gets scrutinized. I think they were up against you guys. What was like 21-3?
Yeah, it was like 21-3, 17-0, something like that. And of course, we came back and curb stomped them in the second half. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Honestly, the whole team looks like a disaster. I feel sorry for Adrian Peterson that he just has to be a part of that abomination. Keenum was just getting absolutely wrecked last week. Absolutely wrecked. The O-line, I don't know if it was the O-line being shit or the defense being good. It's probably a little combination of both. Bears always known for their defense. The poor bastard was just getting wrecked left and right. And I don't know, man. This coach, he's got to pull it together. If not, how many years has he been there now?
This is his 6th season in Washington. And Jake Gruden had a couple of decent years with Kirk Cousins. And for whatever reason, the Redskins didn't want to. I understand why they didn't sign Kirk Cousins. He's not really that good.
What kind of garbage team would sign Kirk Cousins?
I don't know. Even better. What kind of garbage team would give him $84 million guaranteed?
A desperate team, man. A desperate team.
We seamlessly segue here to Cultivate Crypto, aka Charlie. Charlie, out there in the chocolate factory, man, you have Kirk Cousins. What are your thoughts on Jay Gruden and the Redskins? Does Jay Gruden last the season, or does he get a couple more? Does he get a couple more seasons because they lost Alex Smith last year?
He doesn't get a couple more seasons. No, he's not that lucky. But he does last the season simply because he's part of I think a well-known family, the Grudens, and a well-respected family within the NFL. They're not going to throw him under the bus. They're not going to, tarnish his name. They're not going to, make him look bad. I think, what is it? The guy, his name is Schneider or something like that. The guy who owns
Daniel Snyder. Yeah.
Right. And I think he'll probably honor whatever contract they have with him right now. But while they do that, they will be looking for somebody else, because after 6 seasons, having, this amount of non-success is just, not, any NFL team just can't take it. So I think they will be finding his replacement, whether that's within the organization or without, but they're going to keep him as kind of an interim coach until they do.
Excellent, excellent. Miami J, what are your thoughts? Does Jay Gruden last the season, or does he get time?
I agree with Charlie. I think he'll last the season unless it's just a complete dumpster fire like in Miami. God, it always fucking hurts to say that. But anyway, I don't think his real inability is coaching, not like the mechanics of the game. I think his real inability is to put together a coherent staff. I mean, what the hell are the Redskins trainers have been doing for the last 3 years?
Well, also keep this in mind, Miami J, is the Washington Redskins had a hell of a staff. They had Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator. Then he went to Atlanta and then took them to the Super Bowl. He had Sean McVay as, I think, a quarterback's coach or an offensive coordinator. Of course, Sean McVay. Now, if anybody has ever said a hi to Sean McVay or has the name Sean
They're
or
a head coach
in his name, they automatically get a head coach anywhere they want to.
Yeah.
So I think that Jay Gruden at this point, I don't think he's a victim of anything. I think he's a good offensive coordinator. I don't think he's really a head coach guy. He's been there for 6 years. It's been nothing but mediocrity.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Kind of like when Wade Phillips was the head coach of the Cowboys, and now he's the defensive coach of the Rams. And I fucking hate the Rams, but they're doing great, man.
Not that Jason Garrett's any better.
Think about this. Look at the Redskins. Look at the Redskins the past few years. Jordan Reed, who's one of the best tight ends in the NFL, has been perpetually injured.
Yes.
Darius Rice, Alex Smith, their defense has been decimated by injury the last 3 years. I would start by hiring some damn new trainers and nutrition coaches and strength coaches. Start there.
I agree with you. In their defense, the Alex Smith injury, that was a freak injury, and his career may very well be over. But I do agree with you in that Redskins players don't really seem to get
They don't heal up.
healthy. No, they don't heal up, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe they're listening to the Golden State Warriors, right? I mean, we've all heard about Kyrie Irving making those comments about Kevin Durant, and did they rush him back too soon? Klutz, what are your thoughts on Jay Gruden? Does he deserve another couple of seasons? I mean, does he last this season? What do the Redskins do in this situation?
Okay, so being from Washington, D.C.
There we go.
I'm used to this bull crap. There's a reason. There's a reason why I'm not a Redskins fan. And this is one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not. And I'm not a Cowboys fan neither. Fuck the Cowboys.
All right, very good.
Yeah, that's the one thing I have solidarity with my Redskins supporters in the DMV. But with that, I got to look at ownership. Strength and conditioning coaches, they need to be swapped out because the Skins, whenever they've had good seasons, would always succumb to injuries and usually find themselves on the outskirts of the playoffs that way. But even when everyone was healthy, I mean, you had a solid defense. You had defensive players, like Hall of Fame defensive players, play for the Skins. I mean, you had the late Sean Taylor, you had Darryl Green, freaking London Fletcher wasn't bad.
Champ
Bailey, exactly. And you can't tell me that with all the great defensive players you had come through Washington, that you couldn't, at the very least, be known for, say like what Chicago's known for now. Yeah, offense aside, their defense is what made them, at least last season, relevant. You tell me you couldn't pull that off in Washington through these past 20 or so years. And the reason why I say past 20 years, because this will mark the 20th year anniversary when Daniel Snyder gained ownership of the Redskins from Jack Kent Cooke. This has been a pattern ever since Dan Snyder was the coach. Everyone in the DMV, including myself, will tell you that all of this comes down to ownership. And what was it? Redskins, as far as Jay Gruden is concerned, I don't think he's going to last past this year because no other coaches last longer than him. The longest coach that has lasted outside of Gruden has been Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs, yeah,
exactly. And that was 3 years. So I'm sorry, this is do or die. Well, forget do. He's toast. Forget it's just a matter of time. It's gonna be one.
Is Gruden the GM also?
Oh, wow. You know what? You know what? That's a very good question. Somebody look that up because I haven't heard anything about a Redskins. Nobody knows who the GM of the Redskins is, and that might be because Jay Gruden might be the GM of the Washington Redskins.
No, it's a guy named Bruce Allen.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh,
Allen. Good lord. Okay,
yeah, he needs to be fired. He shouldn't
One
last the
question I
season.
had for Xanatos. Yeah,
Yo, what's up?
yeah, he won't. The one question I had for Xanatos Clutch is Daniel Schneider a cheap bastard in terms of an owner? Because like
No.
in Minnesota,
No.
we've had a lot of owners that just come in with our sports franchises and
Hey,
they aren't willing to pay players shit.
I'll cut you. Listen, I'm going to cut you off right there. One thing
Sure.
we know about Daniel Snyder, he is not afraid to spend the money. He will spend
Okay.
the money. Okay. He gave Albert Hainsworth a bunch of money, Deion Sanders, Big Daddy Wilkinson, Dana Stubblefield was out there. I remember when they had the really good team, Stephen Davis, Brad Johnson, again, Champ Bailey was out there, Sean Taylor. Daniel Snyder is not afraid to pay players. The problem is that they don't have they have a GM or a string of GMs who are inept. Okay, so he brought back 3-time Super Bowl champion Joe Gibbs back. I think that was in 2003, and that worked for a little while, but Joe Gibbs he owns race cars. That really his heart really wasn't in it anymore. My opinion on this is that I think Jay Gruden definitely lasts the season. I do not think that I don't think he'll be retained. He's going to be fired. Then and here's the thing. Jay Gruden will probably end up as somebody's offensive coordinator at some point because this is just what happens. I think Jay Gruden is a lot like Norv Turner, Wade Phillips, Greg Williams, Rex Ryan, in that they're unbelievable coordinators. Jason Garrett, really, really good coordinators, but they're really not, they're not good head coaches.
Charlie Weiss.
Well, right, exactly. Freddie Kitchens was the offensive coordinator for the Browns when Hugh Jackson got fired. He was also the quarterback's coach. That's why Baker Mayfield looked really good last year. But now that Freddie Kitchens is in charge of everything, Baker Mayfield has regressed because he doesn't have that one-on-one time. Yeah. The jury is still out on Kyle Shanahan because he was a really good offensive coordinator, obviously, in Atlanta, and he seems to be doing great things here in San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo. And then, of course, Dan Quinn, who was the defensive coordinator for that 2013 Seattle Seahawks squad. He goes to Atlanta. They get to a Super Bowl, and, of course, they lose to Brady and the Patriots. So, and Doug Peterson, I didn't really believe in Doug Peterson. He sort of looks like an offensive coordinator. Obviously, he's not just that, as he won a Super Bowl a couple of years back. But I think that Jay Gruden does last the season. I think he is fired at the end of the year, and the Redskins go looking for another head coach. Here is a better question, and I'm going to start with Clutch. I'm going to work my way back here. So right now, Case Keenum is the quarterback. Khalil Mack, Hakeem Nick. They absolutely destroyed him last week. Case Keenum is not your quarterback of the future. Obviously, he's a journeyman. Came out here to Philly. We handed his ass to him here in the NFC Championship game. He was in Denver. He was here. He was there. He's not going to be long for the Redskins job. Eventually, we have to. Dwayne Haskins is the number 15 overall pick, first round draft pick of the Washington Redskins. When are we going to see Dwayne Haskins, Clutch? Is it going to be week 5, week 7, week 9? When do we see Haskins?
That's a good question. I would say after this week, if it's the same thing, and let me look at the schedule. Who's Washington playing this week? Who are the Skins playing?
The Giants.
I don't think it matters. And they've got Daniel Jones coming up. Daniel Jones coming up.
That's another L coming up.
And it's in the Giants' house, so they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose. It's just a matter of how much. So let me see the schedule here. They got the Giants. Oh my goodness. Well,
Giants, Patriots, Dolphins.
If they lose to the Dolphins, I don't care, Miami J.
If they lose to the Dolphins, Jay Gruden won't last the season.
Exactly. Everyone's gone. Quarterbacks are gone. Freaking coaches gone. No, but I can easily see him replacing Case Keenum after week 5 when they get trounced by the Patriots. They're going to use that as an excuse to be all experimental because if you're 0-5, what's your chances of making the playoffs?
Exactly. I mean, think about what the Giants just did, right? Eli Manning is like, this is a lost season for the Giants. Nobody expected the Giants to get to the playoffs. They start 0-2 or whatever. Yep. Eli's struggling. He's a shot fighter. Just bring in the kid. Listen, let him get his nose bloodied. This is the way you build rookies. So I agree. I definitely agree with Clutch. I think we're going to see him soon. Miami J, what are your thoughts? When are we going to see Dwayne Haskins?
I think we'll see him against Miami. Especially, they're going to get trounced this week and next week. I think we'll see him against Miami.
Okay.
Miami's God, this sucks. It's a crappy ass defense, and we'll see him against Miami.
Okay, excellent. Charlie, when do we see Dwayne Haskins? Is it now, later? Are we going to see him at all? How's this going to work?
the same thing I was going to say is 5 losses. If they get 5 losses in a row or just 5 losses in general, then you throw in the new guy. And it seems very easy to say like, hey, throw him in versus Miami. It's a bit of a preseason game for him, and he can kind of, play around a little bit. And then, when the 49ers come to town, then actually, in week 6, then he has a little bit of some, what do you call it? Like some actual competition.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, five losses and he's in. Dwayne Haskins is in.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Miami J. I'm sorry. I'm getting you guys mixed up. MLD.
I'm the other Miami J.
You're the other Miami J. Got it. Holy Gigolo.
So,
Miami hater.
dude, it was such a bad game. I mean, 3 interceptions, sacked 4 times. His QBR was 17.
Wow.
You got to go. That's it. I mean, we're 0-3. We got this new guy. I mean, it's not like you're Tom Brady and you're off to a rough start. You're Case Keenum. And we got you from the Vikings. So it's not like you're coming off of a
Well, I got him from Denver.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, he went from there to Denver.
Keenum did good he did great in Minnesota, dude. He really did.
He's fucking clutch.
I was shocked.
He crushed New Orleans.
Well, I mean, he yeah, I don't know. Like maybe similar to Cam Newton, had a few good years in him, but now he's definitely on the tail end. He's on the way to the CFL. So I mean,
they're definitely not going to put Dwayne Haskins in versus the Patriots.
Putting in Dwayne Haskins, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with Case Keenum. Everybody knows who and what Case Keenum is.
Yes.
You put in Case Keenum as a bridge, as a placeholder for Haskins. Everybody knows Keenum is not going to last the season. He's not going to be their starter next year, let alone by the end of the year. So, I mean, yeah, Keenum is what he is, but I don't think it's
I think we see Haskins after the. I agree with Charlie. I think we see him week 6 when the Redskins go 0-5. I don't listen. At some point, the Dolphins are going to rise up and beat somebody. They're tanking for Tua. But again, you got grown men over there. This is an NFL football team with NFL talent. Everybody's penciling Miami in as an automatic W, and at some point, the guys in the locker room are going to get tired of that. It might be the Redskins. It might be the Redskins that are a victim of that particular motivation.
Did you see him play last week against the Cowboys? They played hard. It's just stupid mistakes.
Yeah, well, that's coaching, right?
Yep.
Brian Flores
was like 10-6 at halftime.
Yeah, no, I'm saying don't count them out.
They were
that onside kick. They recovered it, but it was their own fucking.
I'm gonna call it right now. Miami's first win comes on primetime Monday night in Pittsburgh.
Oh! Wow.
Which week?
Right now.
Which week is that? Week 7 or 8.
Oh, smokes. Wow. Okay, listen, you heard it here first. Miami gets his first win against the decimated Pittsburgh Steelers. None of the killer bees are there. Dude. It's interesting, man. Teams who have all of this talent, you just never know, right? Dan Marino got to a Super Bowl in his second year. Everybody thought they were going to be there forever. Never got to another Super Bowl, man. Never got to another Super Bowl.
Quick point right here. Last week we talked a lot about Cam Newton.
Yeah.
What happened to Marino is the same thing that I think happened to Cam Newton.
Yep.
Marino made it to that Super Bowl. He thought he was going to be back the next year and a bunch of more times.
He said it.
I think same thing happened to Cam Newton. He got to that one Super Bowl, had that MVP season. He didn't play his heart out in that Super Bowl. We know it. And he probably thought, yeah, I'll be back here, but I'll be back here again. And look where he is now.
It was 85, right?
Yeah, 85.
Against the Redskins? Bears. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Super Bowl shuffle, baby.
Well, if you remember, no. The Miami, I'm sorry, the Chicago Bears beat the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 20.
Oh, was that? Okay.
New Orleans, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the score is like 45-10. But it was the Miami Dolphins who kept the Bears from the undefeated season. The Dolphins beat the Bears on Monday Night Football, and that's what ended their undefeated season.
That's right.
That's what they needed. I think the Miami Dolphins got to the Super Bowl before that.
They played the Niners. Marino got beat by Montana.
Okay, that was then that had to have been Super Bowl. It was either Super Bowl 21 because I know the Niners won Super Bowls 23 and 24.
So it was the 84 season. The Super Bowl was in 85, and the 85 Bears won the 86 Super Bowl.
86, got it.
Okay.
Super Bowl 19.
Yeah.
So Marino got to Super Bowl 19, never even got close. Never got close again. Never even got close. So the Pittsburgh Steelers had the best trio in football for 5 years, or I don't know, for 3 years. Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell is in New York. They're not going to win 4 games this season. Big Ben is hurt, right? And Antonio Brown, we don't know where he's going to end up. This is how precious this is. Here's another example. The Seattle Seahawks could have been a dynasty. The Seattle Seahawks could have been touted as the greatest defense ever. And the reason why I say this is because they had the opportunity to beat 2 of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history in back-to-back Super Bowls. They absolutely boat raced the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 48 up in New York City. Then they came back in Super Bowl 49. Of course, we all remember the Malcolm Butler, you should have handed off the beast mode. And then, of course, after that, the Seahawks had never been the same since. The Legion of Boom is gone. Byron Maxwell came here to Philadelphia and was basically Swiss cheese. Everybody's scoring on him. Earl Thomas is now in Baltimore. Richard Sherman is now in San Francisco, and Cam Chancellor retired. Right. So this is how precious this can be. So you got to strike while the iron's hot. A lot of people are saying, why are the Houston Texans going all in on this season? You just never know. You absolutely just never know. Speaking of the 49ers, they are 3-0. I think they're 3-0 for the first time, I think, since like 2004 when Steve Mariucci was the coach and that was Jeff Garcia and the boys. Are the San Francisco 49ers for real? MLD, what are your thoughts?
I think any team right now is just a little too hard to say if they're for real. And they played, they didn't necessarily play the most stellar lineup. They played the Buccaneers, who, if you watched, did anybody watch the Giants Buccaneers game and just laugh their ass off?
I did. Yeah.
I sat here and laughed so hard when they shanked that kick. So you got week 1 Buccaneers, week 2 Bengals, and then week 3 the Steelers without Ben Roethlisberger. Anybody, And then next week they're gonna play. They have a bye this week, and then they're gonna play the they're gonna play the Browns next week, so they're gonna win again. So I don't know. It's too early to say. I can't say.
Okay. All right. So cultivate crypto. Charlie.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Are the 49ers for real? Are they fool's gold? Because here's the thing. I want to preface this by saying this. The NFC West is a very, very good division, right? Okay, the Seahawks just took an L against the Saints, but the Seahawks are legit. They are legit. They are a legitimately good football team. Of course, you've got the LA Rams, who are also, I think they're also 3-0, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 3. I mean,
they are.
The NFC West is loaded. Are the 49ers for real? Can they compete in the NFC West, or is this going to be another wait and see? We'll see you next year.
There's no way they're going to win the division. The Rams are one of the top 3 teams in the league for sure. The Rams, they're going to be in the NFC Championship, like hands down, unless they really, really fuck it up. So I think there's no way the 49ers win the division, but are they for real? Are they better than they've been before? Yes, definitely. I think Kyle Shanahan is definitely kind of getting his sea legs right in terms of this team. So offensively, they're going to be really, really good. The key is, can they hold up defensively against the rest of the teams in the league? And personally, if they only beat the Steelers by 4 points, and I think that was, at home, the first 2 games of the year, they crushed it. But versus the Steelers, it was a little bit lukewarm. So I think they have a good game versus the Browns. They're at home after that's next week. But when the Rams come to town, they're not going to win. And so if they get a wild card, I think they have a decent chance at that.
Good stuff. Clutch. Are the Niners for real, or are they fool's gold out in their hills? You like my little 49ers up there?
Yeah, it's actually my team I grew up rooting for and still do to this day. But here's the thing. They're 3-0. I get it. But their strength of schedule, even with the injuries that happened to Pittsburgh and them losing only winning by 6, That just
4.
goes to show you. Excuse me, 4. You're right. That just goes to show you how much strength of schedule can deceive people and can inflate stats, especially during the beginning of the season. Now, as a Niners fan, I am still on the fence. I know Jimmy Garoppolo is doing his thing. Yes, we got George Kittle, who's probably one of the most underrated tight ends in the league.
Dude, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding, man. Nobody knows about George Kittle. Maybe fantasy owners.
Exactly. Outside in fantasy football, it's like, who's George Kittle? George Kittle's in bits? I'm like,
Skittles?
Yeah, Kittles. But to be honest, we will see where they are. I'll be honest. When I look down the schedule for the next until November, well, until October, until Halloween, they really don't have a lot of competition outside of the Rams. And even the Rams are a bit shaky. They're good too, but I don't see the oomph that I saw in them.
I agree. Todd Gurley is not. Listen, newsflash. Todd Gurley is not the same guy, guys.
Really? Because he was killing it last year.
Listen, Todd Gurley has arthritis in the left knee. That's why he had, 4 carries in the Super Bowl? He is not the same. And if Todd Gurley's not the same, that offense is not the same. They beat the Browns by 7 points, right? If the Browns score that touchdown, then we're having a completely different discussion. Last year's Rams team would have gone in and absolutely just destroyed the Cleveland Browns. This Rams team is not the same.
So I can't even say the Rams will be a test. Looking down the schedule, Cleveland, they'll beat Cleveland. Rams, it's a toss-up. Washington, yeah. Carolina, I'm a Redskins fan. I'm from DC. I'm not a Redskins fan. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Smart move.
You got to be good. You can't be like the Patriots good. I'm fine. Be the Packers good. Be the Seahawks good. Hell, be Chargers good. Anyway, but yeah, going down the list, the Panthers, that could be a test. But to be honest, the strength of schedule for the Niners is pretty easy. We should at least get 9 wins.
We got a 3rd, 4th place schedule this year. That's one of the great things about being crappy is that if you get good next year, you play a crappy schedule. You never know what can happen.
Exactly. I mean, our schedule isn't going to be really that difficult until maybe November, where we face the Seahawks, then Cardinals, and then it's Green Bay, Baltimore, who's underrated themselves, New Orleans, Atlanta, which they're going to try their ass off because they're going to be one of those teams that will be in the hunt as usual, as well as the Rams and then the Seahawks. And we'll see what they're really about come November.
Miami J, are the Niners for real or are they fool's gold?
I agree with Xanatos. I mean, their schedule's kind of not all that, except outside of their divisions. I think outside the Packers and maybe the Saints if Drew Brees is Drew Brees out for the year?
No.
No.
If Drew Brees is back, they'll lose. They'll be in the bubble. They'll be in the wild card conversation, and it'll probably come down to that Falcons game, as to whether or not they can clinch or make a real push for to get that wild card, and we'll see then. Once playoff football starts, anything can happen. But right now, I think we're still in wait and see mode with the Niners. Honestly, to be honest, Jimmy Garoppolo's never played a full season of football. Everybody's ready to crown this guy. We don't really know him.
Right. Yeah. Right. You're right. Yeah. Listen, I know a little something about quarterbacks not being able to finish a season of football. Shout out to Mega Red with the $10 super chat. Says look forward to meeting Donovan at the 21 convention, which is now less than a month from now. Looking forward to going down there and meeting the guys. All right, so let's go to this week. Let's talk about a few storylines from this week. So Thursday night's game were the Philadelphia Eagles, my Eagles against the Green Bay Packers. Traditionally, road teams on short weeks, road teams on Thursday nights usually get destroyed. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers were 3-0. I think they touted the number 3 defense overall at that point. They jumped out, I think it was 10-0 on the Eagles, and then we scored, I think it was like 21 unanswered points. We ended up getting the win, made 2 goal line stands. Are the Eagles back? MLD, I want to get your non-objective opinion here. This should be fun.
I'm not too sold on your boy yet. I don't know.
On Wentz.
On Wentz. Honestly, though, I was expecting you guys to lose against the Packers. I don't know, man. It's you guys, you lose against the Lions, right?
Yep.
Is it Lion? You lose against the Lions, and then 4 days later, you beat fucking Aaron Rodgers.
At
So
home,
it's like,
too.
in Lambeau. I saw who made the Lambeau leap, and one of the Green Bay fans was like pushing him off the fucking.
Yeah, that was. Oh God, that's exactly that was. I think that was Miles Sanders. This was
That
one
was
of
funny.
I saw like some old white guy was like, get out. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was confusing because Matthew Stafford's injured too. It's like his hip is screwed up a little bit.
But that happened during the last game. He was okay when he played the Eagles.
Oh, was he? Okay. Well, I mean, that I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't say. I don't say that. I think obviously I have a bias. I think the best team in the NFC East right now is the Cowboys. Everything is firing
based on their wins against 3 teams with a combined record of 1-50.
That's right. And we're going to the Super Bowl.
I think you guys are going to lose this week. I'm just saying that.
We're going to win. We're going to win an undefeated season and win the Super Bowl.
There it is.
So,
it's never going to happen, buddy.
But I don't know. I don't know. Just it's an anomaly. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you guys lost and then played just later in such a short amount of time, very small time to recover. And it's like you're not recovering from a tennis match; you're recovering from an NFL football game.
Yeah, that's a factor. That's a factor.
I don't know. We'll see. I definitely don't think the Eagles are going to win the division. I think the Cowboys are going to win the division. We just got too many weapons. And we got Ezekiel Elliott, who's probably the best running back in the league this year as well.
Best. Yeah,
especially with Todd Gurley now being out. I would say last year was neck and neck for those two. I mean, who's another good running back this year? Is
I can't remember. Le'Veon Bell is pretty good, but he's in New York.
I think the top 2 running backs are going to be Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. I'm not sure I'm ready to crown Zeke yet.
Delvin Cook.
Good. To me, Zeke is the best. He is the best. It's going to take him a little while to get into midseason form. But we'll see what happens. Charlie, are the Eagles back? Are they contenders for the NFC East, or are you not sold on Carson Wentz like the Eagles staff seems to be?
No, Carson Wentz I've been sold on since day one. Like, there's no problem with him except for getting injured. So I think the question that we had last week was, is the Eagles offensive line going to actually do something and shore it up, right? And that's why I think they actually won the game, is because the offensive line finally came together.
Caught the football, right? So we didn't
get sacked.
Yeah, well, we didn't have our 2 best receivers for the. And I'll put it to you like this. Obviously, I'm completely biased because I live here and I've seen every snap of Carson Wentz's career and his bones. But it took us a half of football to shake off the rust, right? Remember, the preseason is very short now, or the training camp is very short now. The CBA, you can't hit as much. They don't, and of course the Eagles are very smart not to. Dude, Wentz, lock him in a closet during games. You want him out there during games that matter. That's the first thing. It took us one half of football to shake off the rust. Then we came back and just absolutely boat raced the Redskins. I remember saying to Devin, we're sitting here watching the game. We're down 17-0, and she'll tell you. I even texted Jonathan. He's like, "Oh my God, your boys." I said, "Jonathan, I am not one bit concerned. I was never worried about that game because I know who and what the Eagles are." The second game in Atlanta, if what's his name, Nelson Aguilar doesn't get a case of the drops, that would have been a very different outcome. The last play for the Eagles against the Lions, another dropped pass, either right at or near the end zone. So the Eagles' struggles have been for many. There are many reasons why the Eagles have struggled in those 2 losses. Carson Wentz is absolutely not one of those reasons. I would also say this. As a Cowboys fan, if you're a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't be sold on Carson Wentz either because I am a Cowboys fan. But you have to consider this, right? And the best ability is absolutely availability. There's no question about that. You cannot discount the fact that Carson Wentz puts himself in danger a lot. Even now, he's starting to slide now, but every time he breaks the pocket, I'm having a freaking heart attack. But I will say this, and I said this last week. You have to think of it this way. The Eagles organization had a Super Bowl MVP on their staff, okay? They decided to pay Carson Wentz. All right, you understand what I'm saying? And if Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott if Wentz and Dak Prescott were free agents right now, okay, 31 out of 32 NFL teams would choose Wentz. The one team that would choose Dak Prescott is, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not taking anything away from Dak Prescott. He is absolutely a lot better than he was last year and definitely the year before. He's put in the work, but he's not Wentz. That's just all there is to it. If Wentz can stay healthy and Wentz can stay on the field, I think it's easy to see with your eyeballs. He's just the better talent, just the better player.
He's a great quarterback. And here's the thing is it gets very easy to jump into like a division rivalry right away and be like, comparing that whole shit. To be honest, like, I don't think that really matters right now. I think once they play each other, then that will matter. I think the only thing that really matters right now is the offensive line did a hell of a lot better job with Carson Wentz during the last game. And then B, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is
cannot run the Eagles. Can't do it.
Did you see the face of Aaron Rodgers when he missed that 4th and goal? When he gets these eyes whenever he knows he lost. And, he basically had that look where he's just like, fuck, I know I just lost this game, even though there's plenty of time left. So I think
was very impressive. I didn't think that it would stop 4 times in a row. I was watching the highlights on that. That was impressive.
Well, here's the thing. What sets this up is that the Eagles, the run defense, I think that's a very underrated part of the Eagles, is nobody can run on the Eagles. The Cowboys will, because the Cowboys have a good offensive line and they have the best running back in the league. So now it falls to our not so capable secondary. So that'll be a good matchup. Clutch, what are your thoughts? Are the Eagles back? Can they contend for the NFC East? Are they a wild card? Are they back? Is it too soon to tell?
Oh man, at this point, when it comes to the Eagles, they're 2-2, but they're strong 2-2, at least on the offensive front. Now, defense is their question. They have probably averaged 25.5 points for the last 4 games.
Hey,
their team.
We're giving it up like Tinderella's on the first date. Like, lie to you, man. Yeah, the defense is porous in the background as the Bills and the Patriots have kicked off. Go ahead, Clutch. You got it.
And as far as that's concerned, that's what's really going to make or break the season. I think Wentz is your answer. He is your quarterback. He's going to have longevity at the very least. What's this? One took you the black quarterback. Damn, Donovan McNabb. He is your next McNabb at the very definitely beyond that because he won you guys the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So Wentz is the future. That offense is good. I would say Jordan Howard.
Woo!
You guys haven't been using him.
We used him Monday night. It was him. It was him and Miles Sanders. The game turned around when we started running the football. That was the Packers could not. And again, this is old school football. If you can run the football and you can stop the run, you're going to win more games than you lose. And I think Thursday night's game was a good example.
Exactly. So get Jordan Howard in the field, get the number 2 guy in the field, and you guys will be all right, or at least all right enough in order to figure out what the hell to do with your defense.
I agree. Miami J, what do you got?
No, look, I think the Eagles will push for the division. I don't think they were ever not there to say that they're back. I think their defense finally stepped up. I think when you go into Lambeau and you play a 4th quarter like they did, that defense, at the very least, they're going to start playing with some damn good confidence.
Right.
So I'd watch out for the Eagles.
Just like you said, that's Aaron Rodgers. That's Lambeau Field, man. You're 1-2. You just lost a game at home. You shouldn't have lost. Yeah. You get 3 hours of sleep. You got to get on a plane. You got to fly to Wisconsin. You got cheeseheads out there. You go into Lambeau Field, back against the wall to save the season, and they got the W. Not only did they get the W, we scored at will. We scored on 4. I think we scored on 4, and it wasn't anything fluky. We took the ball right down the field. Are the Eagles back? I think they probably are. I agree with you, Miami J. I don't think that there was ever any doubt.
Look, that division is going to come down to week 16 when they play the Cowboys. They'll be right there, and the winner of that game is going to win that division.
Here's my prediction for the NFC East. I think the Cowboys and the Eagles are going to both finish with the same record. It's going to be 11-5 or 12-4. That's how good I think those teams are, and I think they're going to split the games. I think the Cowboys beat the Eagles in Dallas. I think the Eagles beat the Cowboys in Philadelphia. It's going to come down to common opponent, right? It's going to come down to points scored. That's how evenly matched these two teams are. I wouldn't be surprised if they met up in the NFC Championship game either.
Well, check this out. Look at the Eagles' last 6 weeks. After they take Seattle on at home, then they play Miami, the Giants, the Redskins, the Cowboys, and the Giants.
Exactly.
The Eagles are gonna make that push late in the year.
I agree. The Cowboys right now are in the very soft part of their schedule.
And we fall apart in the towards the end of the year always.
Oh, that's the rope, dude. Listen, man. I remember I was listening to Cowherd and I wrote in. He actually read this on the air. I said, Colin, he was talking trash about Tony Romo. I said, that's not fair. I said, Tony Romo is the greatest quarterback in NFL history at home against non-divisional opponents before December, right? Like it was just, I mean, it was, that's just kind of how it is. And I think the reason for that is not Dak Prescott. I think it's Jason Garrett, man. Jason Garrett does not have I don't know, man. Maybe he'll prove us wrong this year.
No, he sucks. He's got to go. I hate him.
Jerry Jones.
He's just Jerry Jones puppet. That's all he is.
Exactly. Jerry Jones always loves these types of guys because who was it which coach won you the Super Bowl?
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, he fired his ass.
Well, Jimmy Johnson won Super Bowls 27 and 28. The Niners won Super Bowl 49 over the Chargers, and then Super Bowl 30, Barry Switzer comes over from Oklahoma, and then they win Super Bowl 30, right? So he's had two coaches win Super Bowls for him, and of course Barry Switzer was up, but then he hired Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells made Tony Romo who he was. Lo and behold, they butted heads because Bill Parcells famously said, listen, if you want me to cook the groceries, if you want me to cook the dinner, you got to let me shop for the groceries. Jerry Jones didn't want that, and that's why. So I think Jerry Jones wants the credit for this Super Bowl. He never felt like the first 3 Super Bowls were because of him. It's just not enough for him to be Jerry Jones. He wants to get credit for that.
I hate him.
That's kind of pathetic.
I hate him. As a fan, I hate Jerry Jones, and I hate Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett should have been gone a long time ago. Any other NFL team would have fucking gotten rid of him. Any other fucking team. He's been there, what, like 10 years now?
Yep, 10 years.
10 fucking years. And how many? We've won like what? 4 playoff games? It's ridiculous.
I think 2, maybe.
No. We won 2 last year.
Oh, really? One.
Did we not?
You won the divisional, but
wait.
Oh,
All right.
The wild card. You won the wild card, but
either way. I mean, listen.
No.
And here's what I think. I think that the Cowboys should pay Dak Prescott. I think they should pay him $50 million a year. That's what I think. I absolutely. I think the Cowboys should pay Dak Prescott. I think they should make him. I think they need to sign him. They need to give him 5 years, $250 million. Go ahead and make him a $50 million quarterback because everybody in Dallas, the Dak Prescott contract should be the Carson Wentz floor. Hey, pay the man his money. He's earned it. I want them to pay Dak Prescott so that they can't re-up Jalen Smith, so that they can't pay Leighton Vander Esch or all those other offensive linemen. I think that would be
DeMarcus Lawrence, right? He's really good.
DeMarcus Lawrence is a freaking nightmare. Let's talk about one more storyline for this week before we get into our picks here. Is this a must win for the Cleveland Browns? They got the Baltimore Ravens. They're on the road against the Baltimore Ravens, and the Browns are now 1-2. We've got Rex Ryan, taking pot shots at Baker Mayfield. You're overrated. And then, of course, he comes back with hey, you can't, unless you're wearing the brown and the orange, you can't say shit, blah, 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 blah.
Well, he's an analyst.
Yeah, well, he is an analyst, right? And listen, Mayfield is here for all the smoke. Jason Whitlock calls him Lil Smokey. So is this a must win for the Browns? Can they recover from 1-3, or do they need this? Let me start with you, Clutch.
Oh, man. Well, to be honest, the AFC North is not as strong as it used to be back in like the 2000s and early 2010s. So division-wise, their only threat right now is really Baltimore.
Yeah.
So it's going to be up to those two teams to see who wins the AFC North. Looking, however, at the schedule outside of the AFC North, the divisional games, the Browns have some breathing room, to be honest.
They do.
They do, honestly, because look, let me see what else they got. They got the Niners, so that's going to be a test. I think that's going to be really where we see what's up with Baker Mayfield and the crew. But you get the Seahawks, the Patriots, even the Buffalo Bills, which nobody's talking about. I mean, they're 3-0 as well, and
their defense is good.
Yeah, their defense. Yeah. Anyway, let me see. But they got Pittsburgh twice, and we all know what's up with that. Oh, they got Miami. Oh,
Miami is everyone's bye week, right? Everybody's homecoming pick.
Bye week 2.0.
Hey man, hey, listen, we're not gonna be talking all this shit about the Dolphins because they are they're gonna tank for Tua or they're gonna tank for Trevor, one of the two. They're gonna have a quarterback here, dude. It's either gonna be Tua, it's gonna be Justin Herbert, it's gonna be one of those guys. So they're not gonna be.
I want us to record all these shows, and I want us to keep doing this for 2 or 3 more seasons.
It's
Miami's
on
all-
YouTube, so I think it's recorded.
Miami's already losing right now.
oh.
Are you kidding me, dude? You gotta be kidding.
What's the score right now?
3-0. But
Only
Miami is
3-0.
losing.
Right, so already down 3-0. Dude, the game started 3 minutes ago. They're already down 3-0.
Oh Lord.
I've got Phillip Rivers as my quarterback. So
let me say this about the Bills, and something a lot of people aren't talking about. I think we had a couple of years ago. We had that amazing quarterback class with Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. I think Josh Allen is going to be the best quarterback to come out of that class.
wow, really?
I really, really do. Yep, I do.
No way.
Who
Josh
Allen be? Darnold?
Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. So far, Josh
Sam
Allen.
Darnold's not bad.
Well, no, Lamar Jackson so far, but still, the jury's still out on him. I think in the long run, Josh Allen is going to prove to be the best quarterback out of that class.
Did you watch the mic'd up stuff, Donovan? I don't know how much you watch it, but it seems like the Bills, they have a lot of like just solid team chemistry with that guy.
They do, and they play for Josh Allen.
He runs really, really well. Like he can like jump over like linemen and shit. Like I think he's really good, but the best I'm not sure.
Last year when they came to Miami, they lost the game, but the last play of the game, he threw this 45-yard bullet pass straight at their tight end who was wide open in the end zone. This guy, I don't know how the hell this guy didn't catch it. But
He's a big boy too. He's 6'5".
it's freaking the guy's impressive. I'm telling you that this guy's for real.
No, he's a good quarterback. I don't deny that.
Looks like Ajon Stark says in the chat, he says the Cowboys will have $85 million in salary cap next year. Sorry, Donovan. That would be next year. The way the Cowboys can really win this thing, I think we discussed it last week. They need to give him a Kirk Cousins deal. They need to give him 3 years, $100 million, fully guaranteed, and let him prove it that way. I'm telling you right now, Dak Prescott's having a good year, but if the Cowboys pay this guy $40 million a year, it's over. It's over, dude. Dak Prescott is good. He ain't that goddamn good. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like he is definitely an improved quarterback. There is no question about it. He could not do this on any other football team. And I say this all the time. You put Prescott Prescott, Mahomes, Prescott Wentz, whoever you want to compare him to, out on the open market. Everybody seems to want to compare him to Carson Wentz. Who gets signed first, Prescott or Wentz? Who gets more money? It's going to be Wentz, right? I think right now, I'm not going to call Dak Prescott fool's gold, but you've beaten the Giants, you've beaten Daniel Jones-less Giants, you've beaten the Redskins, and you've beaten the Dolphins. You've gone 3 and again, to his credit, great quarterbacks are supposed to stop bad teams. This is what he does. But now he's going up against New Orleans, who just curb stomped the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle.
With their second string.
With Teddy Bridgewater. Dak Prescott is good. He's not $40 million good.
I'm worried about this game, to be honest with you.
As an Eagles fan, I think Dak Prescott deserves $65 million a season. He is absolutely that good. He throws receivers open. You cannot win a Super Bowl without Dak Prescott. Pay him $75 million, sign him to a 10-year, $750 million contract, and all of your problems absolutely over.
Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, Dak Prescott is run game dependent. He can't do it without Zeke. The guy cannot. I'm sorry, the guy cannot put a team on his back for a whole season.
I agree.
And carry them through.
I would agree too. He's a team guy.
In his defense, nobody. Aaron Rodgers can, Drew Brees can, Tom Brady can, but those guys are the greats.
Yeah, there's literally only 5 quarterbacks in the league who can actually pull that off. Like most of them can't.
Yeah,
right. And those are the ones who should be getting paid the $40 million a year.
If I'm Dak Prescott, I'm trying to get $45 million a season too.
Hell yeah, me too.
Prescott should take a team friendly for the team. No, if your name was Dakota Rain Prescott, I'm not trying to take discounts for no goddamn body, man.
Really, dude, I don't know. If I was in, I'd be in it. I'd just be in the NFL if I was playing just to win Super Bowls. Like, well, after $10 million, like, does your quality of your life really change?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Also, it's the marketing ability. I think John made a good point last week, right? He said, like, well, if you do win a Super Bowl, you can market that shit for the rest of your life. And
Sure.
so you can make money that way too. So
everybody's rich in the NFL, but it's like, who, like, have you won a Super Bowl? And then if you want to get to the elite level, how many Super Bowls have you won?
John makes a good point. But here's the thing. I think what we're assuming, and Josh Allen just threw an interception to Devin McCourty. I think what people need to understand is that professional athletes are not just there to win. They're there to make money. There's nothing wrong with getting paid. A lot of people say, well, don't you want to win Super Bowls? Well, yeah, but that's not really we all know that Tom Brady's first priority is winning Super Bowls. And this is reflected in the contracts that he signs. But I'm not going to fault the player who says, listen, I would love to win a Super Bowl, but I got to get my money first. I'm not going to be that guy that says, well, you should play it for the love of the game.
No, that's stupid.
Dude, get the hell out of here with that.
The only reason I would take a pay cut is like to strategically build a better team to win more Super Bowls. That, like, if it's not going to happen, I'm just like, all right, pay me.
I'd say that applies, especially if you're a running back.
Oh, dude,
running backs have the shortest lifespan of any position in the NFL.
Dude, look, I mean, the fact that we just heard that shit about Todd Gurley, that alone is, I'm shocked. I could not believe it. I thought this, because, dude, I hate the fucking Rams, and that guy was so good last year, unbelievably good.
Well, that's why Melvin Gordon's holding out, but he has to come back this week just because he's still under contract.
Yeah, well, because Melvin Gordon isn't Zeke Elliott. He got some bad advice. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to do our picks against the spread. Then we're going to do our picks straight up. We've got 4 games we're going to pick against the spread, and then 4 games we're going to pick straight up. The first game is the Browns +7. They're getting 7 points on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. MLD, who are you taking? Are you taking the Browns or the points? You're going to swallow the points and take the Ravens.
Dude, the Ravens. Are you kidding me? The Browns are trash. The Browns are fucking trash, and they're going to fall apart as this year moves forward. Dude, let me tell you something. LeVar Jackson is a good quarterback. That guy is a good quarterback, and I honestly think that the AFC North is going to be won by the Ravens 100%.
Wow. Charlie.
Ravens are at home. They're definitely going to win. The spread, you said it's 7?
7.
Yeah.
Not too hard. I think the Browns put up a pretty good fight against the Ravens defense, against the Rams defense last week, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought they would lose by 10, but they only lost by 7. But being on the road, I think the Ravens cover the spread, no problem.
Clutch.
I agree. Ravens win. They cover the spread. I give them probably 10 points, 10 to 14.
Yeah, they're going to cover the spread for sure.
Miami J.
I'm going to take the Browns against the spread.
Crazy.
You took the Browns last week and they didn't do nothing.
He also said that the Dolphins were going to score, was it 50-0 against the Patriots?
Well,
that was a joke, obviously.
Different football team than the Browns. I agree with Miami J. I'm taking the Browns and the points. I think the Ravens win this football game. They're a very physical football team. They're very good. Obviously, like most football teams on the road. But remember, the Browns are not chopped liver. You guys got to remember, they have Odell Beckham Jr. They have Jarvis Landry. They're a very undisciplined football team, but talent makes up for a lot of those things. On the defensive side, they've got Myles Garrett, who is quickly shaping up to be one of the best defensive ends in football. Obviously, that's going to be neutralized a little bit by Jackson's mobility. I think the Ravens win, but I think they win by 6. I'm going to go 16-10 Baltimore in that game. The next game, we have the Chargers -15 on the road against the Dolphins. I guess it's kind of late to be making that pick because they've already scored 3 points.
Yeah, they're not losing anymore.
No, they're not.
Dolphins are winning, baby.
Oh, they really?
They're 7-3 now. It's 7-3 Dolphins. I'm watching right now.
This is how stupid I am, right? I waited for the games to start picking against the spread. So picking against the spread is out. So let's talk about winning these games straight up. We got on the air a little bit late because my tattoo artist came by. We did a consultation. I'm getting some new ink. So we got on the air a little bit late. So we're going to make sure we pick against the spread before the games actually start.
We can pick it against the spread for the afternoon games.
Let's. I've only got. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do one more game against the spread. The Saints getting 2.5 points at home against the Cowboys. MLD. Who you got?
I don't know, man. I really, really thought that the Saints were just going to get absolutely crushed by the Seahawks. I thought Teddy Bridgewater was just going to be just a chump. I mean, they ended up giving him the game ball in the locker room. I watched the after highlights, and I don't know, man, because it's true. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not delusional. And we did play 3 shit teams. I think one of the hardest places to play is definitely Seattle at home.
Yeah.
And Lambeau Field. And then I think number 3, you got to say that in New Orleans, it's very hard to play them at home. Is there any also what is it? It's Kansas City has a pretty hard.
Kansas City is very loud. Yes.
Very loud at home. But I would say that the Saints are up there. Do the Saints win? I'm now here my bias comes into play. I'm going to say the Cowboys win, but it's going to be like a 3 or 4 point game.
Okay, so you're taking the Cowboys and the points.
Yeah.
Okay. Where am I going? Charlie. Cowboys on the road against the Saints. And again, the Saints are home underdogs. They're given 2.5 points. I'm sorry, you're getting 2.5 points if you take the Saints. You taking the Saints against the spread, or do the Cowboys cover?
So I'm taking the Saints. Couple different reasons why. Actually, Dallas actually kicked their ass last year in both games. So
and we defeated when they were undefeated. That one undefeated. I think they're like 13-0.
Yeah, that was Thursday night. That was last Thursday. Right. That was last year when the Saints came into Dallas on a short week again, road team against. But guess what? The Cowboys still won the game. That was sort of the coming out party.
To be honest, I think this is the best game of the week. It's going to be a shootout for sure. And this is the one that I would be watching. Like, if I didn't have a team, I would watch this game. This is going to be the best game of the week.
Wake up early, come watch it.
I'm watching the Vikings, bro. But here's the thing is like, so people doubt Teddy Bridgewater a whole lot. Simply because he tends to throw short, but he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. And why they gave him the game ball after last week is because he can bring a whole locker room together. He's actually a legit leader. So that whole thing together, he's not going to win on the deep ball. So if it comes to like a shootout in the end, they will lose. But as long as New Orleans defense keeps it close, which I think Sean Payton has enough in his bag to make that happen, I think New Orleans can win this at home pretty easily by probably about 4 points. I mean, that's a close game, but
it's going to be close no matter what, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be relatively, not so difficult for New Orleans to win. It'll be close, but as long as he doesn't have to go down, I think Drew Brees, what it was at week 1, he had to go down the field like 40 yards to get that game win. Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater can't do that. So as long as he doesn't have to do that, they win. And so I think they win by 4.
Oh, man. Case Keenum just got sacked twice in a row. It's terrible watching.
Case Keenum got his money in Denver, man. So And Steven Gostkowski missed the extra point. So the Patriots scored a touchdown. Steven Gostkowski missed the extra point, and wow, kick returner took it all the way back to the 40, so we got some momentum there. Clutch. Are you taking the Saints and the points, or are you going with Dallas and swallowing the 2.5?
I got the Saints in the points, but not by that many points. It's going to come down to a last-second field goal. As what you guys said, it's going to be a close game, Dallas versus New Orleans, but I got to give the edge to the Saints, mainly because they're at home. Even considering the fact that Drew Brees is out, you still got a good offense. You still got Kamara. Come on. Nobody's talking about Kamara.
Nobody talks about Alvin.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so true.
The truth.
Exactly. He's as good of a receiver, almost as good of a receiver as he is running back. And then Michael Thomas is still there. It's just a matter of him and Bridgewater finding chemistry.
Well, they got a second quarterback in Holton Hill as well.
Hey, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And Taysom Hill, he's basically your utility guy whenever you can. Get a big man to come in there. Exactly. So I got the Saints. I mean, Cowboys are going to bring it. Zeke's going to do his thing. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, this is going to come down to a last-second field goal. Saints by 3. Saints will take it.
Before we go to Miami, Jay, 7-0 Cleveland.
Yeah.
Browns just scored a touchdown. There's also 7-0 Giants. They're already up. So Case Keenum just threw an interception, and the Giants, I guess, took it all the way back down. Daniel Jones, 5 for 6, 42 yards and a touchdown. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, no, this kid's pretty good, man.
Right. Miami, Jay, who you got? You're going to take the Saints and the points. You're going to swallow the points of the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Saints. Teddy Bridgewater, he's not Case Keenum. He's not your journeyman backup. This guy's a legit quarterback. And I think the Saints defense is very, very underrated. So, yeah, I'll take the Saints by 7 or 10.
Okay, very good. I'm going to take the Cowboys, and they're going to cover. I think the Cowboys win in a shootout. I'm going 41-38. The Cowboys win by 3. They got all kinds of weapons. Dak, Zeke, the triplets, Amari Cooper.
Where's the super chat?
Well, the Cowboys have a very, very good defense, but I think that I think it's going to be a shootout. Lone Revolver 1 with a $5 super chat. He says, we need Jalen Ramsey, Chris Harris, or Xavier Howard with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Let's talk about one last game. This one is kind of obscure. Chiefs at Lions. We got a lot of guys picking the Lions in an upset against the Kansas City Chiefs.
What?
Yeah, listen, believe it or not, Keith Smith is going to be banned because there's always – I don't need black helicopter guy. There's always some guy. There's a group of people that thinks that the world is scripted. Anytime something happens, it was fake, it was scripted, it was – get out of here with that. I'm not trying to hear that. And if the games are really fixed, then you have to pay off. I can't even get into that.
It'd be tough to script an NFL game.
Let's talk about whatever. Let's talk about the Chiefs and the Lions. Not really a tasty game, but a lot of people are picking the Lions to be well because the Chiefs just came off of that emotional win against the Baltimore Ravens. I got the Chiefs going into Detroit. I got them hanging 40 on it for sure. Yeah, the Chiefs. The Chiefs are unstoppable. It is what it is. MLD, who you got?
Dude, I'm retarded for what I said last week about Patrick Mahomes. I did. Obviously, I am in Japan, so I'm not. Charlie knows way more about football than I do, and he keeps a way closer look on the game than I do. That being said, dude, after doing my research on this guy, 100% Chiefs, 100-0. They're gonna stomp him. Maybe it's Matthew Stafford.
Well, you can't say 100-0 because the Lions are already up 3.
Well,
Stafford's
not a terrible quarterback, and by the way, the Patriots just blocked a punt and took it into the end zone. So it is now 12-0 pending either the extra point or the 2-point conversion. So this is
and Miami is losing again now.
All
All is right with the world.
Blade Brown in the chat showing that he knows absolutely nothing about sports whatsoever. Says the whole Philadelphia franchise is terrible.
No, that's not true at all.
Really, no,
I hate the Eagles, and that's not true.
That's way worse franchises than
that's exactly wrong. Listen. Maybe he was thinking. Maybe he meant to say, I don't know, like the Redskins.
The Redskins are the worst franchise in the NFL.
Well, they're bad. They're very, very bad. Let's pick one more game.
Sorry, I'm really surprised, MLD, you didn't say the Dolphins. Props to you.
I'm from Miami. I like the Dolphins. Just you guys are having just a shit year. And it's just a spade is a spade.
I'm getting ESPN alerts and Bleacher Report alerts and Barstool Sports. They're all saying Dolphins lead, first lead of the season, and they lose it like that.
Hold the lead long enough for us to do this particular podcast. One more quick story before we get off here. Will Kyle Allen replace Cam Newton?
Yes.
Wow, everybody said yes. Everybody's nodding their heads.
Well, Cam went vegan, and next thing you know, he's dressing like Aunt Jemima at the post game press conference.
What in the world is going on? Cam Newton, dude. Yeah, Cam Newton, he is the example that you can't be a running quarterback. You can't do it. You're going to get nicked up. You're going to get hurt. I think a lot of the Kyle Allen love is just Cam Newton hate in disguise. I think that Carolina fans are tired of Cam Newton. And listen, let's just keep it all the way real. This isn't the Bible Belt. This is the South. People in the South don't like black quarterbacks as much as they do white quarterbacks. This is just how it is. The same thing happened up here in Philadelphia. Jeff Garcia came in and won 3 games. All of a sudden, no, we got to replace Donovan McNabb, even though he's taken us to 4 straight NFC championship games and a Super Bowl appearance. And Jeff Garcia may or may not be a switch. I mean, like for serious,
Garcia.
like it. I don't want to get into the race thing, but I agree with you guys. I think that the Carolina Panthers are looking to get out from under Cam Newton. They're not obliged to pay him after this season. They can let him go. Teams are figuring out, hey, we can get a decent quarterback on a rookie deal and build around him and just go for it.
He's going to the Dolphins.
Oh yeah. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this edition.
Newton to Brown in the Dolphins.
Here's Cam Newton's best case scenario. Right? Ready?
Oh, here we go.
They'll put him back in. Sometime I don't know, in a few weeks. He breaks his leg. Takes a season off. Gets signed by, I don't know, the fucking Colts or the Cardinals or something, has one good season, wins comeback player of the year, and then slowly ebbs away into obscurity. That's Cam's best case scenario.
Wow.
He needs to start eating steak again, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. If you remember, Prince Fielder decided to become vegan, and he hit like 2 home runs in 2 months. Somebody gave him a steak sandwich, and he hit like 3 home runs in 3 days. Like, this is just, you got to eat meat.
You do.
I understand Cam wants to be this progressive type of dude. Bruh, you're still a man. You're 62. He's a physical freak, dude. Stop wearing scarves to press conferences. Ain't nobody impressed by that nonsense. You want to know what we're impressed by? We're impressed by completion percentages over 60. If you're completing more than 60% of your passes, you can look however the hell you want. But when you're losing, you need to clean it the fuck up.
The last really progressive quarterback I remember was Colin Kaepernick, and we all know where he is.
I was just going to say that. Can Cam Newton go the way of Colin Kaepernick?
What's that?
Could Cam Newton go the way of Colin Kaepernick?
But it's a totally different.
It's similar
region.
because they both kind of played the same and went to the Super Bowl. Both
Kaepernick
lost.
was better.
Yep.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't hear what you said.
I said Kaepernick was better. I think if Kaepernick was still in the league, he can still win.
Yes, I agree. You guys, listen, man. People forget that Colin Kaepernick absolutely gashed the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay 2 years in a row. They had no answer for Kaepernick. He threw for 200, ran for another 180, gashed those guys. Right? Jim Harbaugh leaves and goes to Michigan. Kaepernick goes into the tank. I think that Kaepernick played better than Cam Newton. Cam Newton is definitely the physical specimen. Let's not get it twisted, but Cam Newton is not a very accurate passer. At least Colin Kaepernick could put the ball where he needed to put it. That's just all there was to it.
Fair play.
The best.
But I mean, just like progressive, like, he started
Fidel
dating
Castro died. No, go ahead, bro.
That's when things went off the rails. All right, well, before this thing gets too off the rails, we don't want to. Kaepernick and feminism seem to be the buzzwords. Guys, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you guys stopping in here. Josh Rosen's 4 for 4, 75 yards and a touchdown. Looks like he's trying to hold on to that job. And the Detroit Lions are up 10-0 on the Kansas City Chiefs. So stay tuned for that one. That's going to do it for this edition of TSR NFL Sunday Rundown. We will see you guys next week around the same time. Definitely same channel. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later days.